The running for the next Bachelor is still ongoing, with Nate potentially out of the running. So now a lot of fans are hoping maybe it'll be Tyler Cameron, but is he a strong contender? What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Blake McHugh, and welcome back to another shared news update. Before we get into it, you know the drill. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring that bell so you never miss any of our future videos. I have got the beautiful and talented Kayla Thompson with me today. Okay, so I just dropped, I think, a little bit of maybe a surprise to some people. We're hearing some rumors that Nate is potentially out of the running for the Bachelor. You just brought up before we went on this panel that we did see kind of a photo of him out maybe with another woman, and now we've got Reality Steve saying that Nate turned down the Bachelor opportunity role. Did you want him to be the Bachelor? How do you feel? Do you care about this? What are your thoughts?
I mean, do I care about this? Of course I care. You know, I'm gonna have to watch it every season, yes. So I care. Yeah. But you know, did I want Nate to be the Bachelor? I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't have not liked it if he was the lead. I think he could have done a good job. But did I want him? I feel like they have some other options maybe, or I don't know if I see him being like, I don't know if I see him in carrying the season really. But I mean, he would have been good in terms of like depth, maturity, wisdom, but I don't know. We've seen some where we're like, I don't know if he really might have turned it down. What's going on here? So yeah. What about you? Did you want him?
I think that I was indifferent. I really loved his story. I loved his story with his daughter. I thought that he was, great with Gabby. I really connected with him. But to be honest, if I'm comparing him to the rest of the contestants on Gabby and Rachel's season right now, so far he's, other than Eric at this point now that we've gotten to hometowns, but he's someone still that I have connected with the most, that I've felt my heartstrings pulled on, that I actually felt like as a viewer, I had a relationship with this person too. And that's typically who I do like to see out of The Bachelor. I don't feel that way. That's not true. I feel that way about Eric now. But other than Eric, I don't really feel that way towards any other of them. So if we were picking from Gabby and Rachel's season, it would make sense to me that it would be Nate.
Yeah. Same. I agree.
But if we're not picking from Gabby and Rachel's season, there's a lot of people talking about, okay, well, is it going to be an older contestant, maybe from a few seasons ago? Are they going to do something wacky and wild like they did when they brought Matt James in, who wasn't even part of Bachelor Nation? Obviously, I think people have been talking about Tyler Cameron becoming the Bachelor since his season with Hannah Brown, right? Like, people have just like loved Tyler since then.
Tyler.
What? Okay, do you love Tyler?
I mean, I love Tyler on Hannah Brown's season. I did. I liked TC on Hannah Brown's season. I did. Now, post-season, we can unpack that. We can unpack that as we go on this recording.
Okay, let's unpack it. What's going on post-season for you with him, Kayla?
There's just so much we could talk about. But I think, you know, the optics started looking very like he's living for the spotlight. He's living for the fame. He's living for a little bit of the clout. And I think it's easier for Tyler to kind of get away with it because he is genuinely so famous. Like, he is one of the most famous contestants to come out of Bachelor franchise in like kind of ever. Like, he is huge. He's dated Gigi Hadid. He's dating like models. He's dating like, it's just like,
he's got Tyler the campaign with Kristen, oh gosh, what's her last name? Kristen Cavallari. He did the campaign with her.
Yes.
Where they're making out and
he
stuff.
Was on, he was on SNL. He was a feature on Saturday Night Live when Kim Kardashian was hosting. This man he's bigger than anything, okay? So it's like, but I do think he knows that. And I think he kind of is living for the hype of his own name. You know what I'm saying? And
so
I don't know.
I agree with you in the fact that he's definitely got that kind of level of fame that a lot of other Bachelor people do not have. He's sort of kind of, there's fame in Bachelor Nation, and then there's a few people who get the fame outside of Bachelor Nation. He's definitely one of those. But I kind of it had an opposite effect on me than it did to you. I don't know why, but like seeing him do these campaigns and with Gigi Hadid and, Chris and all these things, it almost like made his allure even stronger for me. Cause I was like, okay, he's really got something going. And then, we really saw a lot of personality from him when Hannah and I believe Matt James was there as well, and Tyler, they all got the house together during the shutdown. And then, I also felt like when his mom passed away, there was just all these kind of other added elements for me after the season with Hannah Brown that almost made me connect with him more. I think because you saw him, I saw him at least as more of like a person. But to go off of kind of what you said, that he kind of has grown out of that Bachelor Nation, he did say that, or he was offered the Bachelor role after Hannah Brown's season. It was between him and Peter Weber, which he did turn down. Mike Johnson said that he turned it down because basically Tyler already said that, he had enough followers and he was making enough money that he didn't need it. And he also didn't want his life to, quote, look like that. So I feel like that's kind of in line with what you were saying.
Exactly. And I think now it's like, because my whole thing with Tyler now is I feel like his name is starting to become a little bit more in like I don't know if you're the golden boy we thought you were. Like, I think people are starting to question it.
Yes.
I'm definitely started questioning it. Because at first I was with you on like when he left the season, I'm like, this boy's dating Gigi Hadid. Like, he is above the fray. He is like, this is like, he is a star, and like the allure is everything to me. But now I'm starting to be like, okay, so now that your name is kind of dying down, are you trying to do stuff to bring yourself back in the spotlight? And even just how he handled, I think the way I saw him handle things with Hannah Brown, even with like, the issues with Matt James and Rachel kind of being like, I don't really rock with TC like that right now. Like, it's starting to kind of look like, okay, Tyler, are you gonna, I don't want to say it, but y'all can maybe cut it out. But I just feel like he's kind of an F-boy. I don't know. And it's just kind of like,
okay,
not feeling it.
Well, so to go off of that, because obviously there was that little stint of him with Paige Lorenz. We saw the photos, those paparazzi photos of the two of them kissing in New York. Their relationship was never confirmed, but then he goes on national television. I think it was E! News, where he was asked about it. And then he makes, the remark of like, oh, we're taking time apart, like basically announcing their breakup on air, which Paige said she didn't even know he was doing that. Didn't know why he did that. So Paige actually went on, I believe it's Sophia with an F's podcast. And she basically said that, she's like, I think he did like me, but I think he kind of used me for some media attention because he's, quote, launching something soon.
And this might sound narcissistic because he has a pretty insane following, but I felt like he was like using me.
Really?
I don't know. Like, I felt like he wanted like some media storm. He was looking at my story views and I was getting more story views than him. And he was like, I need a scandal. And I don't like that about myself, but like I do have some in the media about me, like especially around my relationships. And I think he saw an opportunity. Not that he didn't like me, but I think why he wanted to go public so fast is because he's like launching something soon.
So I feel like that aligns kind of with what you're saying. But then there's this launching something soon. Is he wanting to, my question is he wanting to stir up this media attention because is he going to be the next Bachelor? What is this launch of something new?
Yeah. No, so I think, I don't know, this launch of something new, I'm taking it in a different way. I'm thinking I'm thinking just that. I'm thinking he's trying to get his name back, in the press, in like, pop culture. And I don't know. I feel like if he was launching something new, why go on The Bachelor? you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be like away from whatever business venture or whatever, you know what I'm saying? For like 3 months, you have to do press for that. Like your whole job is that you're just the Bachelor. So that's just what it is. And I also feel like Tyler it's been so long that he's been out of Bachelor Nation. I don't know if he's diving back in right now. I don't think so. I think he still probably sees himself as above it.
Yeah, so that was going to be my last question is, would he even do it? But do you even think he's being considered? Like, is the Bachelor producers even wanting him or thinking about him?
Yeah, I think it's all fandom based. Like, the fans are talking Tyler C, but I don't know that Jesse Palmer, I have not heard Jesse Palmer talk about Tyler I don't think so, as like one of the, you know, in the running for The Bachelor. I've heard either. I've heard other names that I could, you know, throw out as who I would maybe want to see. But
throw them out, Kayla.
Yeah. Okay, well, since you asked, I have heard Jesse say like potentially them doing like a double Bachelor thing, kind of like what Zachary put out into the universe, with Andrew and Greg. Yeah, I think Greg could be interesting. I'm not a huge Greg stan, but I think he could be interesting. I think he's like he had a fall from grace, obviously, on Katie's season, but I think he slowly worked his way back into people being like, oh no, he's cool. Like he's worked on himself. He apologized. You know, he's in a good space. I know he was dating someone like earlier this year, but I'm pretty sure they broke up. So could be intriguing. Yeah. And then I think the one that's could be a free agent. But I think the one that's like screaming out to me to be the Bachelor is Mike Johnson. I just feel like they fumbled the bag.
Everybody wants Mike Johnson. They fumbled him so bad. I know.
He should have been the first. As a Black woman on this screen right now, he should have been the first Black Bachelor. God bless Matt James, but his journey was a little bit of a mess. Not a little bit. It was a lot of a mess.
Lot of bit of a mess.
A lot of bit. And Mike Johnson would have handled that so well. Like, he would have been amazing. I don't understand why these, you know, powers that be did not jump on, you know, the opportunity to make him the Bachelor. And he's still in it. He's still talking out, you know, whatever it is with Brian. So yeah, I think Mike could be like a blast from the past that people are like, oh yeah,
yes,
I want to see him fall in love.
Mike Johnson,
cool, let's do it.
Totally, he is a king, and I have been saying since my time here on Shared News, like, he is somebody that I want back in my TV screen. He just was so kind, funny. His smile was infectious. Like, I loved him, and they totally fumbled the bag by having somebody we didn't even know come in and be the Bachelor versus bring in Mike Johnson. But maybe I'm happy about it because Matt James's season was still very much COVID era, and our man Mike deserves a real, true Bachelor experience, traveling, dates, and all of that. And so I think like I'm a little bit sad that Tayshia got robbed of the full Bachelor experience too, because she was such a good Bachelorette that I feel like she deserved to have an over the top Bachelorette experience as well. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. My question, though, is if Greg would even want to do it, because I'm pretty sure he did not want to go on Bachelor in Paradise. I don't believe that he had the girlfriend when they were bringing people on for Bachelor in Paradise. Now, I could be totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't interested. And I think he got, you know, I think like Katie Thurston really left a sour taste in his mouth with the whole, with Bachelor Nation really as a whole. We don't see him do a lot with it other than the people that he hangs out with, like Andrew and Justin and is it Rob? You know, they have like their little gang there. But other than that, he's not really involved at all.
It's true. No, it's really true. And I think, you know, I saw him and Andrew go on Nick Viall's podcast, and Andrew said the only reason why he would go is if there were women that he was interested in. And he named 2 women from Clayton's season who we now know are on Bachelor in Paradise. So I think even for Andrew, that was really the only reason why. So for Greg, I think it was probably the same thing, and maybe he just wasn't. Yeah. You know, if it wasn't going to be worth it for me, I'm not probably going to jump back into the franchise. So I get it.
And and since we're talking, you know, we're talking about all these kind of older contestants that a lot of people have strong ties to. And, you know, just to kind of bring this back to the point of, you know, what this whole panel was, Tyler Cameron potentially being the Bachelor. If you're a, you know, Bachelor producer, you know, I feel like you probably would be pulling hard to try to get him on the show because he does have such a big, you know, fan base. And also, haven't ratings kind of been dropping a lot for The Bachelor and The Bachelorette? Like, I mean, I would imagine that those ratings would shoot to the roof, at least for a majority of the season, if Tyler was back in that position, or not back, but in that position.
It's so true. I know Michelle's season was tough for ratings. Clayton, not a lot of people even understood why he was the Bachelor. So, I mean, there was tons of people who didn't watch his season. Made no sense, Blakely. Literally none. There were so many guys on Michelle's season that would have been amazing. Brandon would have been great. But no, they had to do Clayton.
Rodney.
But, and then Rodney. Yes, thank you. So it's true. Now, hey, maybe Rodney. I don't know. Maybe Rodney will have a second shot at Bachelor. Who knows?
I do think we see.
Yeah.
I guess we could also see. Sorry to interrupt, but sometimes we also get, and the timing may be a little funky, but they could be taking somebody from Bachelor in Paradise who they think had a really good like season on Bachelor in Paradise, but didn't find love because we've seen that, right? Colton was on Bachelor in Paradise, then became The Bachelor. So maybe there's a potential for somebody who's on Bachelor in Paradise to, you know, to stir up some, you know, talk, or, you know, that maybe we didn't really notice that much in The Bachelor, but now we're really seeing them in the forefront.
Yeah, that's true. I think my only thing about that is it starts to feel like two universes happening at the same, like, timelines divulging, because when we knew Clayton was the Bachelor and filming his season, we also were watching him on Michelle's season, and it was very weird.
It made no sense.
And I think the other thing is that, you know, I think the producers need to be a little bit more cautious and just casting someone without really vetting the audience's, like, how the audience is taking that person first. But, and even with the cast so far, I mean, I don't know. I think we've definitely said some good, like, options with Mike, even with Tyler Cameron, back to your original point with, like, Tyler bringing in the views. It could be a really interesting season. And I know I would be like, no, this is going to be good. I would be like, this is going to be really good. I can't wait to see how Tyler is. I am too in. So I think with that being said, they need to make a big move. They need to make a move that's smart.
Yes.
So they're going to have to play their cards right.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, they need to come listen to us here on Shared News, Kayla, because we are just, you know, we're filled with, like, genius ideas.
I'm just like, where is our check to be producers? I'm confused, but, you know.
I know. I'm on the same page as you. Okay, I think that's going to wrap up our Tyler Cameron talk today. We do want to know what your guys' thoughts are. Would you want to see him back on your screens? Is he too good for Bachelor Nation? Let us know in the comment section below. Of course, before you do that, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell. My Instagram handle is @BlakelyMcHugh. You can find me there and give me a follow. Kayla, if you want to shout yourself out and then wrap us up.
Oh, yeah. You can also follow me at Kayla Thompson. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.